Hello, children. I'm here to talk to you about a very famous poetess as well as a writer. She's a well known writer in today's world, and she is very well known in English literature. She's none other than Emily Bronte. I am sharing a small video with you just to brief you up about her and her life history. All I want you to is carefully observe the video, understand things, and study her biography.
Today we're going to learn about the famous writers, the Bronte sisters. Charlotte, Emily, and Anne Bronte were 19th century English poets and novelists whose works include Jane Eyre, Wuthering Heights, and The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, now considered classics of English literature. They were 3 of 6 children born to Patrick Bronte, an Irish clergyman, and his wife Maria. The girls lived with their family at the parsonage in Haworth, in Yorkshire, England. In 1821, their mother died, when Charlotte was 5, Emily was 3, and Anne was only 1 year old. Maria's sister, Elizabeth Branwell, moved in with the Brontes to help care for the 6 young children. In 1824, the 4 oldest girls, Maria, Elizabeth, Charlotte, and Emily, were sent to school at Cowan Bridge. Conditions at the school were terrible, and the next year, Maria Bronte, age 11, and Elizabeth, age 10, died of tuberculosis. Charlotte and Emily were immediately pulled from the school and returned home to Haworth, and for the next 6 years the 4 remaining Bronte children were educated at home. Charlotte, Emily, Anne, and their brother Branwell would write stories together, elaborate stories about imaginary countries they invented, inspired by magazines and newspapers their father bought. The siblings recorded these adventures in tiny books they made from scraps of paper and bound with thread. As teenagers, the girls attended another school, the Rowhead School, where they each studied for a short time. But because the Brontes were poor, the girls went to work as quickly as possible. Charlotte and Emily became teachers as soon as they turned 19, while Anne went to be a governess, teaching the children of a wealthy family. The girls did not much enjoy their jobs, and in 1842 Charlotte and Emily traveled to Brussels to study. This did not last long, however, for later that year, their aunt Elizabeth Branwell died, and the sisters returned home. Aunt Branwell had left her nieces enough money to pay off all their debts and ensure that they did not need to teach anymore. In 1846, Charlotte, Emily, and Anne used the money to publish a book of poems. They published under male pen names, pretending to be 3 brothers instead of 3 sisters, because they felt that their writing would not be taken seriously if anyone knew they were women. Charlotte wrote as Currer, Emily wrote as Ellis, and Anne wrote as Acton Bell. The book of poems did very badly, only selling 2 or 3 copies in its first printing, but the sisters were not discouraged. Instead, each one wrote a novel, which was published in 1847, Charlotte's Jane Eyre, Emily's Wuthering Heights, and Anne's Agnes Grey. The reaction to these books was incredible. They were very popular, selling many copies and attracting the attention of literary critics. In 1848, Anne published another book, The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, which sold even better than her first book had. This success was short-lived, however. In September of 1848, their brother Branwell died, most likely of tuberculosis. He had never been successful, although he had tried many different occupations, including those of writer, teacher, and painter, and turned to drugs and alcohol to cope, which worsened his health and possibly led to his death. 3 months later, Emily Bronte also died of tuberculosis when she was only 30 years old. The following spring, Anne died, also of tuberculosis, at the age of 29. Charlotte Bronte was left alone with her father. Despite her fame and success, which only increased when she revealed her true identity as a woman, she felt very lonely. In 1854, she married her father's assistant, Arthur Bell Nichols, and became pregnant. Shortly afterwards, she died of complications from pregnancy, just before her 39th birthday. Although the lives of the Bronte sisters were short, their contributions to literature are still considered some of the greatest in the English language. I hope you enjoyed learning about the Bronte sisters today. Goodbye till next time.
Hello children, I hope you have liked the video and you watched it carefully. I am talking about Emily Bronte is because she is one of the poetess that you will be coming across in your English 1 lecture. So, please go through it, understand and enjoy. Till the next video, take care, stay safe, bye-bye.